Welcome to my blog. Today's my birthday. I'm 45 today, and it's been a really kind of great day. We bought tickets to go to see November with Nathan Lane on Broadway, and unfortunately Broadway's dark on Monday, so we're going to go tomorrow night. I finished the Upper East Side tour that was rained out halfway through, so I'll probably post that tomorrow. But today we're getting back to politics. It seems that Senator Obama is not having the best of all possible days today because the media has begun to actually ask him some questions. I talked about the Clinton ad last time where she has the children sleeping and the national security phone goes off. She's running a new ad asking about Senator Obama's not holding any hearings in the subcommittee that he chairs on oversight in Afghanistan. There are lots of people that make a big deal over the senator's speech before he was in the Senate opposing the Iraq War. And if you're like me and you believe that the Iraq War was a mistake, it was wrong, it's diverting energy and resources from a real war against terrorism that originated in Al-Qaeda and the Taliban and Afghanistan, it would seem like you would want to use the spotlight of a Senate investigation to demonstrate how this unjust war in Iraq is draining resources, draining manpower, draining the will to fight, and actually promoting terrorism in other parts of the world. We haven't captured Osama bin Laden. It's quite clear he was the director of the 9/11 attacks against New York City and Washington, D.C. Yet you would want to show leadership and the ability to actually demonstrate that you can accomplish something on the front that you are so vocally opposing. Instead, Obama's been AWOL. His committee has not held hearings. They have not shined that spotlight. But he gives a good speech on it. I don't believe that Senator Obama has a record to back up his words. And I've been kind of in an argument all day on that at work. There's other issues that I'd like to talk about, again with the media, and this time, again, Senator Obama. Senator Obama has given two interviews to the gay press, one to Logo on the HRC debate, and another two after the South Carolina with, I was going to say Macaulay, the homophobic preacher. And when there's a blog, and I will post the link on my blog, on Blogspot, to a reporter from the Ohio Gay Citizen. Sorry, I'm not going to remember the name of the newspaper. But the reporter tells the tale of trying to get an interview with Barack Obama, and how not only was he denied access to the candidate, but they said that they would, give him this paid advertisement that they took out last week because he's not speaking to the gay press, he's not answering questions from the gay press. And when they actually began to ask the reporter began to ask the communications director about the difference between the South Carolina incident and the Farrakhan incident, where after much pressure, Obama rejected the endorsement by Louis Farrakhan, yet he still takes the endorsement from the preacher that appeared at his rally in South Carolina. And they say, well, what's the difference? Both men are extremely homophobic, both men are different. And the communications director tried to divert the question, which is what a good communications director would do. And when the reporter wasn't buying it, which good reporters won't do, or actually even mediocre reporters probably won't do. I'm not saying anything about reporters. The communications director said, the way this works is I say something and you write it down, grab the print and wrote it down. Total disrespect for actually having a talk with our community. In this debate I'm in, people rail against Hillary Clinton. Oh, she doesn't do anything. You can look back at the record. Hillary Clinton was actively engaged in defeating the marriage amendment in the Senate when the Republicans brought it up between 2002 and 2004. And 2006 and 2008. She's been there for our community. She was there when, after 9/11, to argue that same-sex partners should get the same treatment as married couples for the victims of 9/11. She has this record. Yet when you push the Obama people on the record, you get silence because he doesn't have one. But they like to say that he's a uniter and not a divider. Well, where is he uniting our community? I'm sorry, he's just not there. So it's frustrating because it's like beating your head against the wall. There was an article in the Times about how the Saturday Night Live skit has brought some soul searching on the part of the people covering Obama. And one of the things that they pointed out was that, Hillary Clinton's the easy target. She's the one that has the extensive record. She's the one that's been out there. And most reporters don't want to do their job. They don't want to go and look at the background. They don't want to ask the tough questions. And one reporter even said, well, Obama's so cool. And, it's like, well, how do you fight this? How do you fight a media bias that is just out there? And, for everything that we're saying right now about Obama, think about what the Republicans are going to do. Assuming John McCain's the nominee, you have a decorated Vietnam veteran who was a prisoner of war, knows the military, has a record of conciliation. Whether you want to debate that or not, feel free. But that he's bipartisan. He's all these nice words. And Obama, there was the picture of Obama in native African dress, which I find a totally appropriate picture, no problems with it, except that he looked really silly. And I just keep remembering Michael Dukakis in the tank. That lost the election for Michael Dukakis. He did not look like a leader, and people responded by voting against him. And, when I saw the picture of Obama in the native wear, I didn't think, anything. I just thought, gee, he looks really, really bad. Poor clothing choice, guy. But it's just going to keep coming up, and it's going to come back tenfold harder than anything the Democrats are doing to themselves now. And so he had a bad day today. There's this talk about the back channels to the Canadians about his bashing NAFTA. NAFTA wasn't that bad an agreement, folks. Sorry to tell you that. But, it's just kind of interesting. Anyway, we'll see how it all plays out tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and happy birthday to me. Bye-bye.